the people who use God as an excuse for fucking anything are the worst.
If you left a can of beer out and told the kids not to drink it, but they do, would you blame the parent for leaving the can of beer out? God was testing them, and they failed. Okay, few things here. First of all, trying to compare a father to a supernatural being is a false equivalency. Secondly, if you have an all-knowing God, why does he need to test Adam and Eve? He knows what's going to happen already, right? So with that in mind, God orchestrated the whole thing just so he could punish all the humans from them all the way through existence. What an asshole. Also, what about that command? Do not eat the fruit, for if you do, on that day you will surely die. Okay, but Adam and Eve have never seen death before. Nobody's ever died before. They're the first humans. How are they gonna... They haven't been to funerals. They have never gone through the grieving process of losing somebody. So how are they going to grasp the knowledge of you will surely die? They don't know what that is. Okay, now let's bring this back to the dad and the kids and the beer again. If the dad told the kids not to drink the beer and they did it anyway, what is their equivalent punishment going to be here? And is the dad going to send somebody into the room to tell the kids, you can drink that beer, there's nothing wrong with it, just go right ahead, he won't really care. And when the dad catches the kids drinking the beer, does he get to torture them to death? And if that dad did that, what kind of a father would you think that he was? You see, as a parent, you have the ability to teach your kids several different ways, and punishment is just one of them, and it's kind of a lazy method. One would think that if your kids messed up, you would just set them down and explain to them what they did that was wrong and how to avoid that in the future. But this is why Christians largely think that it's okay to beat their children, because punishment is the ultimate, according to God. And then you said if God intervened in everything, then what's the point of free will? When the government controls your life, that's bad. But you blame God for not interfering with everything? A few things there. First of all, another false equivalency. God and government aren't anything the same. And again, I notice that you're just accepting the punishment model as a good thing. But here's the deal. The government can't torture you either, which is what God's basically doing by sending you to hell. And finally, there is no such thing as free will. It says that nowhere in the Bible. In fact, there are several instances where God screws with people's free will. One major example was when Pharaoh was gonna let Moses' people go, but then God hardened his heart and wouldn't let the people go so that he could unleash the rest of his plagues. And if we're still gonna compare God to a father, commanding that the firstborn sons of Egypt all get killed kind of sounds a little bit unhinged. Would you want that person as your father? I wouldn't. And that's why I always say that even if Christian God was real, there is no way in hell I would ever worship him. Because he's not a good God or a kind God. He's just kind of a asshole with powers.